Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be going over everything related to the IELTS writing section. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the writing task one first. I wanted to make separate videos on each one because there's a lot of confusion out there and just people are generally confused because writing is one of those sections where you have to write everything down on your own, so it can get a little bit confusing. Okay, so I'm going to give you, obviously I'm going to have tips and tricks in a different video, but this is just a frequently asked question kind of video. Okay, so let's hop right in. So writing task one. Writing task one is different for the two different examinations for the IELTS exam. Okay, so if you take the general IELTS test, like we said before, then you'll only write a letter. Okay, so for writing task one, for the generals or for the general exam, you're only gonna write a letter. That's it. Okay. Now, if you choose the academic exam, it's a little bit harder. So you have a chart. So think a pie chart or a bar chart, different kinds of charts. And I might have a separate video on that if you guys want, just let me know. Okay, so you have different charts and you actually have to write a report on it. So just keep that in mind that you will have to write a report on the writing task one. Shouldn't be too hard because you're basically giving your own take on the charts that you see. You might be giving the differences between each one, the difference between a time frame, things of that nature. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the time. Okay, so it is advised by IELTS that you do not spend more than 20 minutes on writing task one, regardless if you're academic or general. Now, obviously, you should know that the timing is up to you. Okay, so it's not like after 20 minutes, hey, the exam's over. No, you can spend 40 minutes if you want on it, but I wouldn't obviously advise that because writing tasks two, and I'll go off topic for a second here, is you should spend 40 minutes on writing task two. Okay, so 20 minutes is the best for task one. You should not, if you go a minute or two above it, that's fine, but try not to go too far off because, writing task two requires more attention, and actually, this leads me to my next point, the marking system. So writing task one will contribute to about 33% of your total marks for the writing band score. So it really doesn't make much sense to spend more time on it, right? Now let me talk a little bit about marking actually. So you're marked for the IELTS section as a whole based on 4 different things. So you have task achievement, coherence, your vocabulary, and grammar. Okay, and each of these are actually 25%. Okay, so 25% for grammar, for vocab, for task achievement, and for your coherence. So don't focus on one thing and leave everything else out. Make sure that you spell everything correctly. Make sure that you have a wide range of vocabulary. Okay, that is also advised when taking the writing test. Obviously, make sure your grammar is on point and try every now and then to use, a grammar style that is not used too often. Okay? Also, one more thing I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people seem to misunderstand this part, is that words are counted in the IELTS writing test, you guys. Okay? So the writing section, for example, if you have 150 words, the examiner will count with the 150 words. You have to know that, okay? So for example, some people might say, hey, is the writing section, okay, are the words, just the number? So if you write like 140, 160, that's fine. No, okay? So if you write 140, there's a penalty for that. You might lose marks. So always try to write more than the amount needed. So for example, for writing task one, you should write 150, okay? We know that. But I would advise you to write from 160 to 200. Now, this next part is important. Don't write so much that the examiner actually hates, giving you marks because of how long he has to read, okay? So if you write 800 words, the examiner is actually going to deduct marks because of how long it is. So it's not a one-way street here. Try to balance it out. So like I said, task one, 150 words. So aim to write 160 to 200, not more. Okay, maybe 250 if, you have a lot of things to say, but don't go so high that the examiner actually hates his life when he's checking your task one. Okay? So I think that's about it for writing task 1. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll have a separate video for writing task 2. Peace out, guys.